It's time for CBS 21 Next. I'm your host, Candace Scalese. So when it comes to the police chief in your community, what do you want out of them? What is it that you think a police chief should have? Qualities, experience, background? Some tough questions for three potential police chiefs in Lancaster. That's where we find Alex Thill tonight. So, Alex, I understand there was a bit of a meet and greet with three potential new chiefs for the city. Tell me a little bit about what tonight was all about.
Yeah, Candace. So here in Lancaster, outside the city hall, inside the city hall, the city actually had the opportunity for community members to come and meet the three finalists in this police chief search. So they actually did a nationwide search. They had 6 candidates. They've narrowed it down to 3. And those are the 3 finalists you're looking at right there. It's Brian Wiksowski, who is the West Lampeter Township Police Chief. Then Martha Ramos, that woman you're looking at right there. She was formerly the Miami-Dade police chief, and she actually was just the former police chief in DeKalb County, Georgia. And then that third man you're looking at right there, that is Easton McDonald, and he is the third candidate, and he was the former assistant police chief in Alexandria, Virginia. So a wide variety of people here, and all of these members of the community showed up tonight to be able to speak with them one-on-one, ask them questions, tell them things that they were looking for in a police chief. And one of the things that I heard from everyone tonight, was that they wanted a chief who they felt like they could approach and talk to, someone that they could see in their community, somebody that was actively going to the local bodegas, actively participating in community events, someone that they didn't feel was a law enforcement official, but someone that they felt like they could have a conversation with.
Yeah, a person, right? Because I think sometimes when we talk to officials, it gets so formal, but you're like, this is somebody who's serving our community. You want to feel comfortable talking to that police chief. So that's what citizens want. Did you see any similarities across all of the candidates?
I personally did. I did see that a lot of the candidates were trying to focus on that community effort and focus on transparency, focus on communication. Easton McDonald, the former assistant police chief in Alexandria, he said that one thing that was important to him was being able to speak with every single staff member when he got there one-on-one to try and figure out what he could do better as a police chief if he is brought on in that position. Martha Ramos, she said she wants to be able to, as someone who has been working in bigger cities, she finds this a great opportunity to be able to actually connect with more of the community here because it's smaller than what she's used to. She tells me that, in a lot of the bigger cities, sometimes the police chiefs are caught up with a lot of the paperwork and the politics of everything and aren't actually able to be boots on the ground. And Brian Wiksowski, he is born in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. He's worked in Lancaster before, and now he's the police chief in West Lampeter Township. And he said, if he was given the opportunity to be the chief here, it would kind of feel like a homecoming for him. He's gotten everything, his house, his car, everything he has from Lancaster, and he wants to give back to the community.
Cool. Okay. So any major differences that you noticed? I think geography, obviously one of them, right? Because you have folks coming from Georgia, from Pennsylvania, from Virginia. So other than geography, did you notice any main differences, or did you feel like there were more similarities?
I felt like there were a lot of similarities, but I think one thing that stood out that was a bit of a difference was some of the approaches to the conversations that they were having. Brian Wiksowski, he said that, cops traditionally aren't typically looked at as, positive figures sometimes in the community. Right. That, anytime you encounter a cop, it's most likely because you're getting pulled over or you're in a situation that you're not supposed to be in. And he wants to bridge that gap and make it so that interactions with police here aren't negative experiences. And I thought that was an interesting point to bring up. And Easton McDonald, he brought up the fact that in his first 100 days, if he should be, the next police chief here, that he would want to hear from the community and all the staffers in his first 100 days, and then try and implement change after that. And I thought that was an interesting point to bring up, because I was also able to talk to some of these members of the community that showed up tonight and ask them why they came out, what questions they had for the police, and what they wanted to see. And one woman I spoke with, her name is Jessica Lopez. I've seen her at many of these council meetings before, so I figured she would be a good person to talk to about this. And she told me that she wants someone who is not afraid to implement change and to actually, come in instead of bringing data points and different, politics in that way. She wants real change, real honest conversations where the police actually show up to those council meetings, where it's not just, officers or people who are lower level in the police department. She wants to be able to have those conversations with the chief and not feel like you have to go through all of these different avenues in order to contact them. And she said she asked the tough questions, and that was something that Mirtha Ramos explained when we had a conversation with her after. The former DeKalb police chief, she said that they asked some tough questions tonight, but she said that's good because it means that the Lancaster community is paying attention and is involved and really wants to see a police chief who is actively involved with the community.
Yeah, when we play the video again, I want you to point out. So I know who Martha is, but can you point out the other two guys when it pops up? And then I want to ask you like where we go from here after the council meeting, the formality of like how the police chief. Okay, so in this video, who's who?
So we're gonna go left to right. Brian Wickowski on the left, then in the middle is Easton McDonald, and the woman on the right is Mirtha Ramos, and the man all the way to the right helped organize this whole search.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, no, because we keep seeing them, and I wanted to figure out who was who, kind of thing. Exactly. So which one is from Pennsylvania? This guy right here, or
this guy right here? He's the one from Pennsylvania. And so, interestingly enough, too, Mirtha Ramos, the female, she actually went to Penn State. She's not from Pennsylvania.
Oh wow,
Penn State, so she has a Pennsylvania connection as well. Easton McDonald, the other man, he made some funny comments about the fact that he needed to get approval from his wife first in order to, move the whole family and be here. And his wife is Dominican. And she brought up a good point that, the culture and the food here in Lancaster, she was all about it. She loved it. She loved the Dominican food. She loved the community effort. And so he was really happy about that he was able to bring his family somewhere that they already felt like was home for them. So that was great to hear too. And so to answer your question about where we go from here, I was able to speak with Mayor-elect Arroyo tonight, who tells me, he's being sworn in on January 5th. So tonight they got all that feedback from the community. There were little QR codes posted around the room for the community to be able to scan those and then give their feedback. So what Mayor-elect Arroyo and his office is going to do, they're going to go back and look at all of that feedback. They have another set of interviews with the 3 candidates tomorrow, and they're going to take a break for the holidays, let them go back, be with their families, let officials here be with their families for the holidays, and then come January, they're going to make a decision.
Okay, so basically the mayor, I know the mayor handpicked out of the 6 candidates, these 3. Yes. Now they're going through the community input, and then they'll make a final decision based on the community input and the next round of interviews.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Super. That sounds great. Well, thank you. It sounds like it was a well-organized, informative session tonight. The meet and greet with the 3 candidates. I love that they are giving the community an opportunity to like voice what they want, because at the end of the day, like
clearly wanted this because, there were dozens of people here tonight. I've never seen that. I've been in that room many times. I haven't seen it as packed as it was tonight.
And you never know how many people are going to show up to an event like this, right? Like it could be like 5 people, it could be 20. Do you have an estimation? I know it's kind of hard sometimes to figure out like how many people are here, but do you have an idea?
Maybe around like 50 people, I would say.
Okay. That's good amount.
People maybe. Definitely a decent amount of people. And they were all pretty much there. It went from 5:30 to 7:30. Most people were there right up until the end. So they had a lot of time. And they were really, going for their questions, asking these 3 candidates, which was great to see that these community members are as involved and want the best for their city.
Certainly, yeah, that they're engaged. I mean, that's what you need to make a good community and to have a voice too, right? Like you have to take advantage of the opportunities you're given to be part of the community in that way. So super. Okay. Well, if you guys want to join us live, if you're watching this live, Alex is going to have a report at 10 and 11 where you can hear from the candidates themselves and also from some locals about what they want, a little bit of what we just discussed, but you'll hear their actual answers. If you miss it live, you can go to our website, cbs21.com. We'll post Alex's piece there too. So Alex, thank you again. Appreciate it. And good info. I'll see you in just a bit. Thanks, guys, for joining us for CBS 21 Next. Hopefully you got some good information tonight or some ideas about how your city, town, or borough can also operate with some new power coming in. So hope you enjoyed it. And make sure you always tune in to CBS 21 Next right here on YouTube. Just click that subscribe button, and we'll be right there for any questions and answers. Have a good night. Stay safe.